Hi, Cosmic Soul Fam. Ivy here with Lives in Astrology, going live on for this new moon in Cancer flow. Sorry about the technical difficulties. If you were joining me on the other station, my apologies. I just, I couldn't figure out what was going on. So let me join the live here on my, let's see here, on my Instagram. Just making sure that that's going live too. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with my. Normally, I have no problem, but apparently, it's all right. I'm staying in flow. All right, I gotta update the channel. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. Starry. One of these days, I'm gonna have a moderator help me with this. But in the meantime, we're gonna do this now. Update the channel, provide a new stream key. I already did that. All right, here we go. And we're off on the races here. Hopefully, I'll be able to go live. If not, we're going to go live anyway on my other channels. I'm currently on YouTube and I'm on, it says it's streaming. Oh, cool. Awesome. I think we figured this out. Thank you so much for your patience. I'm so sorry about the beginning hiccup of this. But again, some things are out of our control, which is pretty much on point right now with what's happening in the energetic field of feeling very out of control, especially if you're looking at what's going on the world stage. But we're still in this solstice flow. We're still in this very highly impactful energetic sequence of events, if you will. The solar energy, the solar codes have been bringing in so much data and light and information. And I want to share screen some of the astrology as we're approaching this new moon on the 25th of June. And I want to take a look at some of the configurations of how to best work with these energies. So, astrologically, we know that new moons are new seed points. So, anytime you have a new moon, and especially in a water sign or either earth or water, because those tend to be more of the growing elements, if you will. So, it's going to be in water. So, this is also, let's look at all things Cancer, right? Cancer has to do with the home, security, safety, uh, you know, how we take action in the home in matters of our family and providing for our family, right? Nourishment. I think of all fourth house matters and also second house, because second house rules value, money, which you need money to take care of yourself, to provide yourself, at least for now, during these times until that's shifting. So, how are you taking action? How are you providing for yourself? What are you being prompted to begin? Because Cancer is cardinal, right? It's the cardinal axis points of new matters of security and safety. And again, this is all related to food, housing, healthcare. Again, how we feel nourished, how we feel supported, and how we feel protected. All that right now is we are energetically feeling I want to say threatened, but yes, threatened because of the square happening with Aries. So let's just take a look at the astrology so we can go a little more into what we might all be feeling during this time and how to best navigate these energies. So right now I want to make sure that I'm at the right screen here. Yeah. There we go. Looking at that. There we go. So this right here, you can see I have Aries on the ascendant, and I have it at Greenwich Village time because that's where I'm at in the northern hemisphere of the United States, Eastern Standard Time. So I'm looking at the exact conjunction of the sun and the moon. So this is the symbol for the sun, the moon. It's at 4 degrees at 7 minutes, and that's going to be exact here again in the United States, northern hemisphere at 6:31 a.m. And so again, we're approaching this energy. A lot of us can be feeling the energy, especially with what's going on in the world stage right now. Mars is our action. Mars is also considered the god of war. So, where do we see Mars right now? Mars is in Virgo. And on that day of the new moon frequency, it's going to be sextiling or 30 degrees away, or 60 degrees away, rather, from this new moon energy. And then we also have another sextile happening with Mercury, how we think in Cancer, that's going to be sextiling Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the planet that rules change, it rules Aquarius. It's about groups, organizations. It's also rules the electrical system, and it rules technology, AI, forward thinking. And so these sextiles are what are considered harmonious aspects, which that means it's good for us. It's allowing us to have opportunities in matters of how we take action with Virgo, what our health, all health matters, sixth house. It's also helping us think about these matters of security and taking action on how we can be more secure in the home. It's also having to deal with family issues. Fourth house matters, which is also ancestors or the house of our ancestors. And, Cancer also rules memory, which is the past. So looking to the past, perhaps, on how we can basically move forward with our future. So with Mars, what I've been seeing is taking action on how we take care of ourselves, going back to the elder ways, right? To the ways our ancestors did things, like getting back to more natural practices, right? Natural essential oils and natural herbs and things that are outside of the pharmaceutical realm, if you will, and moving back to more of what our ancestors, right? I'm thinking of the great grandmothers, which to me, Saturn rules great grandmother energy because it rules Capricorn, which is a feminine, right? And it was the original ruler of Aquarius before they discovered um, Uranus, right? So Saturn has this interesting configuration next to Neptune and Aries that again is squaring off against this new moon. So something needs to shift. Something needs to shift in our emotional nature, and then Aries, the mind. Something needs to shift how we take action, and the interplay of the dance of Venus, which is in Taurus, with Uranus still in Taurus. It's about getting very clear about our values and being very vocal, because this is also Mercury, right? This is where we're really standing up and saying enough is enough. If we have, so if you look at the opposite of Cancer is Capricorn, the opposition energy is saying, look, we were looking outside of ourselves to the governing big brother, father energy, if you will, to take care of us. But now with Aries, we're seeing that this no longer works, that the people in charge, the people that we voted, that we put in charge to help manage the bigger systems, because Virgo is all about systems. And we've still got the South Node in Virgo right now. And Mars is saying, enough, the systems are not working. We need to take action on these systems that we had originally, or our ancestors had originally put in place, that they're no longer functioning. They're disintegrating, they're dissolving. Pluto is transforming and dissolving and shape-shifting all of these big governing systems. And it's asking us to step into our interpersonal authority, because again, you can see your Aquarius right now is sextiling also Saturn and Neptune, which is saying, Pluto's saying, I'm going to support you in this transformation and change, but you've got to come in and you've got to do the work. You've got to make some executive decisions within yourself on how you want to operate and run your own governing systems, your own body, first house, your own health care practices, sixth house. It's time for you to get to your roots, look to see what your grandmother, your great grandmother, your great, 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 grandparents or family, how they did things. And it may not be what we've been educated that was, in other words, so what I'm hearing is how we've been taught, how our ancestors did things may not be correct. And the story may have been told that we were actually, antiquated or didn't do things, or, the old ways of doing things. And a lot of that has been degraded. There was no value placed on the old ways. But now our values are shifting and changing. We're remembering that the past was actually the future, and that how we did things in the past was more sustainable and more functional. And again, we had, different governing systems at the time, supposedly, again, what the story's been told. So this is also an opportunity for us to go back to the past to see where do we need to take action in the future based on how we did things in the past. Sorry, guys, I got something in my eye here. Got like a little lash that's it's kind of annoying. All right. So going back to this transmission about where the past is our future, and the action that we take now, Mars and Virgo, is going to dictate what our future looks like. So in Virgo, it is about taking action on the earth, new matters of health, how we perceive health, how we perceive our relationship to the earth. this again, this is all shifting. It's all shifting gears. We got to get very clear. And what's motivating us is our sense of security. So I think of like the mama bear energy, right? Anytime we have to take action, if anything, if we feel threatened, I know as a mother, I would get very territorial and protective if I felt anything was amiss, especially when my young son was around, right? And I would take action. Boy, if it meant us, going hungry or homeless or whatever, I was motivated by protecting my son. And so right now as a collective, we're motivated by protecting our families. And so how that's playing out on the world stage, again, you got to get very clear and know your inner values, because the square that's happening, especially with Neptune, there might be deception happening on the world stage. We know also too that Gemini rules media. So does ninth house Sagittarius. And so this is where we're being, really faced to face the truth of maybe what the program or the show or the entrainment they call entertainment, what that has been really propagandizing for the collective and what we're buying into. And if you start moving into the quantum field about how really our attention is the most potent thing we can be giving right now to anything. So are we giving our attention and our power and our focus and our ability to create away to these systems that are collapsing, right? Because these systems, it's almost like trying to resuscitate a dying dinosaur. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. We have to let things go, because also Cancer rules memory and nostalgia, right? So some of us in this time period are wishing for, easier times in the olden days, which is great. But as long as you're aligning with the olden days of what was sustainable, right? Which really mattered, maybe not get lost in the stories of how the olden days were, but having maybe the veil removed on that our history may not be what we've been taught, and that we need to be looking at things and seeing things and organizing and structuring things in a new way based on the information that we have now. We just had Jupiter in Gemini, which is assimilating all kinds of data and information. And Jupiter doesn't necessarily like to be in Gemini. It's considered a detriment in Gemini because it's opposite of Sagittarius. But now that the Jupiter here, this is the planet of Jupiter that's ingressed into Cancer, it feels at home, literally, in its home base. It's considered exalted, right? So our energy is being exalted right now. If we can stay very clear and focused about how we want our sense of safety and security to look like, and more importantly, how to feel it. So for some of us, maybe we can't imagine or see our way into a safer, sovereign world because maybe we've never experienced it. I'm thinking of, how can we imagine or visualize a world without war if we've never seen a world without war in this lifetime? And maybe our ancestors have never seen a world without war in their lifetimes, right? So how do we rectify that? What I'm seeing, especially with Mercury here, is, can you imagine how you want to feel? So maybe the image is not solidified yet, right? Because again, we still have this square happening with Neptune in our visions, right? So it's our visionary ability to be visionaries. But if it's square right now, we may not be able to envision a world without war because we've never seen it. We've never tapped into it. So this is where I'm feeling with this new moon, especially. You may not have the vision of this world without war, but can you feel what a world without war would feel like? So maybe feel it before you see it. And this might be the expression that wants to come through, especially with Jupiter, with this new moon flow, because new moons, if you go outside on a new moon, you can't see the moon. There's nothing there. It's invisible, right? It's like a seed that you plant in the soil. It goes underneath the ground. It's unseen. But in those unseen realms is when the magic happens, right? It's when it's in the darkened part, the heat, the soil. That's when the seed begins to germinate. That's when things begin to grow, which is in the void or the dark. And so we're being asked right now to go really inward and go into the darkened parts of ourselves. And I'm not talking about the false dark, which is like this nefarious dark stuff. No, it's about like going into the soil, right? Planting your seed in the depths of your emotional body of what it would feel like to be safe, and not just safety for you, but safety for everybody. What would a world that where everybody was fed and clothed and nourished and had a roof over their head and had all their basic necessities taken care of? What would a world like that feel like? And then from that feeling space, and then again, going into your meditative practices, because this is also, we have Neptune right now that's the midhaven that's trining this Pisces energy of, can we feel our way into the new vision? Because it may not come to the mind right away, right? Because again, how can you image something that you've never experienced? Well, we do it through the feeling body. And Jupiter's going to be expanding our feeling energy. It's going to be expanding our intuition, our inner knowing, our gut spidey senses. Again, this all has to rule, because Cancer rules the gut. So, Mars taking action too with Virgo, taking action on the gut, really educating yourself on the relationship between how we think and how we feel, and what we're being able to consume and digest is also going to be relating to how we think about things. Our perception of life and of this world is influenced by what we eat, what we consume, what we merge with, because it's also about our creation, right? It's what we give birth to. So this is all tied into the digestive tract. So this is also what I'm seeing, a lot of education on health and being able to manage and be very clear on what you consume, and then cleaning up what you consume. So if that means you have to grow your own gardens because you're not seeing the food that's being supplied as the highest and best for you, for myself, I just got into what I'm being prompted to do is learning fermentation practices, right? How to ferment my foods, because I've been really working on the gut health and using Zach Bush's product Ion for gut health, using ancient soils, humic acid, to really allow my gut biome to be more diverse, right? Instead of killing off all the organisms and the different things that are going on in the biome, it's actually allowing them to thrive, but to be balanced, right? See, you don't want too much fungus in there. You don't want too much bacteria or too many parasites, right? It's the balance of these energies within you that's what's going to create a more harmonious environment, right? You don't want to kill off foreign invaders. Your body will do that naturally. But if you allow yourself to support your inner processes, again, this is also Virgo, Mars taking action on doing better healthcare practices. I just listened to a doctor the other day. They were talking about anybody that received any of the shots that are concerned about some of the side effects that are going on. I've heard, and maybe I'll send a link to after this video here to a doctor that was promoting, and he's been studying urine therapy since the 1990s, and how urine therapy actually creates your own stem cells. How we've been, again, indoctrinated to believe that our own urine is nasty, it's dirty, it's gross. And yet perhaps we're being remembered and brought on our line through the chemistry, right? This Aquarius, by new studies that are showing, wait a minute, your own urine can actually produce stem cells. And if you store the urine for a certain amount of days, that it actually replicates just like a fermentation, and it grows the stem cell count to the trillions, right? And so there's different ways you can do this urine therapy. You can either drink it or you can do enemas with it, right? So again, these are just invitations, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional. I'm just an energetic reader who does her own research. Again, taking those sovereignty codes and listening to practitioners and to beings who make sense to me. That again, truth is a vibration, and if you work with truth long enough, first of all, by getting true with yourself, you're going to feel the vibrational frequency of it. Truth has a vibration, just like the lie has a vibration. And you get more fine tuned into those vibrational states once you get more clear into your body, right? Once you understand what truth is within your body. Again, that gut health, that feeling of what feels true, trusting your intuition. And the more and more practice, Virgo, that you have trusting your own intuitive knowing, the more safe and secure, and the more you can take action on things that will make sense and that will actually produce results, and not just results, but abundance, right? Abundance in again, that sense of security. And so it's time to get so much out of the mind, and again, getting into the gut and allowing yourself to really trust that what is for you, that this life is happening for us, and it will never pass you by, those things that are meant for you. Again, just keep reclaiming your own field of energy. Just keep synthesizing and managing your vibration through feeling better and better and better. Just feeling that little bit of better every day, and taking those micro steps through your habits. Again, sixth house, what we habitually do, and breaking some of the habits from our ancestors. You know, maybe the food diets, maybe, I'm thinking of too, like traditional Southern cooking. I'm from Texas, the South. And so if you look at traditional Southern cooking, lots of butter, lots of lard, lots of different things that, again, because the quality of the food system has shifted, it no longer makes sense to eat these way, right? To eat in that Southern style cooking that our ancestors, it may have worked for them in the past, but our food has shifted. We have genetically modified our food supply to where we can't be eating the same things our ancestors did. We got to do things in a new way. But simultaneously, this is where the paradox is. If you can go back to the ways of the ancestors on natural health care, maybe not the food so much on how, because again, the foods have shifted. So you can't be eating that Southern cooking all the time, but you can modify and you can grow your own food that is organic, right? And if you grow your own butter, or cultivate your own dairy. Again, this might be harder work, but if you're feeling like that's the safe route because you don't trust what's going on outside of our food supplies, then that sense of wanting to be secure and to protect and not only honor your family, but honor your vessel, right? This is what we're being guided to and being directed to. And Jupiter's like, hey, I'm going to expand you, but you guys got to come together, get very clear. Again, these sextiles that are happening with Uranus and with Mercury and Mars, I mean, the planets are supporting us. But again, anywhere we are in conflict with ourselves or the other based on our values or what we're perceiving, and this sense of security and safety, if you can create safety and security for another, you will create safety and security for yourself. There is no us and them anymore in these states of consciousness. Again, we're here to learn Pisces. We are here to learn oneness, that I am you, you are me. We are one in this field of energy, of this quantum field they call the field, right? And with Cancer, you got to feel the field, how we're all quantumly and interconnected through these strings, these vibrations, these waves, however you see it. It's like the fish that's swimming in the ocean that's not realizing it's swimming, right? And we are all moving through these schools of fish, these community groups. And so that's being recalibrated right now. And so it's aligning you to your true community, to those that you want to build the new life structure with, and how you want to feel based on shared values. And again, that shared sense of safety and security with others who are also in alignment with your goals and hopes and dreams and wishes, right? So this is an interesting time period. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here, of where we are all moving through consciousness. So take this time, if you can, this new moon energy flow, to go and create something new, to have the intention, again, maybe even plant a seed, because the symbology of planting a seed is also connected to what you want to grow, right? That could be the representation. So I've got some lemon plants growing outside when I did that from the last new moon energy, because I wanted to, as I'm building other things in my life, I wanted these lemon trees to represent what I'm building and what I'm creating, what I'm growing. So I know that every time I take care of this lemon tree and I go out and nurture it and water it, make sure it gets plenty of light, I'm also making sure that I'm cultivating and curating my other creations in the same way that I'm cultivating and curating this lemon tree. You see? So nature will show us how to take care of things, how to take care of the body by taking care of her, and perhaps learning and remembering how to best take care of her and do things maybe in a new way. So this is just the cosmic invitation to explore these energies as we are navigating, again, this coming off of the solstice, moving into Cancer, moving into the summer months here in the United States, Northern Hemisphere, where there's more light. So it's grounding in, again, going in deeper to the earth so that your roots you can only travel as high, and your branches can only go as high as your roots are into the ground, right? This is that, again, paradox, as above, so below. So get rooted, get grounded, perhaps go back to the ancestors, the way your ancestors used to do things. I'm thinking of fermentation, ways to cultivate food, greenhouses to protect also from the air. And again, remediating the soil, getting to trust our gut and to our inner knowing, because this is where we're being invited to explore our own intuition and getting really clear and focused and feel it before you see it. Feel how you want this world to be. You may not be able to image it yet, but if you can feel your way through it, then the image will grow, it will manifest, it will show itself based on what you're vibrating, how you're vibrating, the consciousness that you are emitting, right? And remember, time is emit spelled backwards. So the time you take to feel better, to be in your body, to cultivate that sense of safety and security within yourself, and then project into this conversation of oneness, of unity. Again, Live Zen comes from all is self. And so thank you so much for being here, part of this cosmic conversation, and enjoy this new moon flow. Again, this is a very potent, powerful time period, and it's a very lucky time period because with the sun next to Jupiter, Jupiter's going to be really expanding what the sun is showing you about these cancer energies, home, family, values, security. It's going to expand all that. So be very focused and clear about what you want and, again, how you want to feel, and then watch how the magic happens. Because if you do it for you, you're doing it for us. Because, again, we're all part of this collective energy. We're all doing this dance together. And we are quantumly entangled. By, if you guys are watching this, thank you so much for being a vibrational match. And I wish you so much love and abundance and joy and safety and security, because we deserve to feel that. We really do. It's time. Humanity has been through a lot, and it's time that we step into our power and our sovereignty. And we do that through our hearts and our intention and through our intuition. And so I just want to send so much love to you, family. Thank you so much for